Hello there, my name is Richard McMahon from the job interview training website, passmyinterview.com, and in this training video, I will teach you how to answer technical interview questions. If you are applying for any technical job role with any company or organization, make sure you stay tuned because the tips, questions, and sample answers I am about to give you will help you pass your interview at the first attempt. And to achieve that goal, I will cover the following 4 things in this training lesson. Number 1, I will tell you what the most asked technical job interview questions are. These questions come up all the time during technical job interviews. Number 2, I will give you 2 brilliant tips for giving the perfect answer to each question. Number 3, I am then going to give you a top scoring example answer to each technical interview question that will definitely impress the hiring manager. And then finally, number 4, I will tell you how you can instantly download my top 35 brilliant answers to difficult technical interview questions. And just very quickly, if you are new to my channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thousands of you are passing your job interviews at the first attempt. I can only help you if you are subscribed, and please hit the like button because that really does energize and motivate me to create more great content for you. And please tell me the name of the job you are applying for in the comment section below the video, and I will give you some extra tips to help you pass. Thank you very much indeed. Let's start working through those technical job interview questions. Interview question number 1 is, how would you describe something technical to a non-technical person? Let me give you 2 great tips for giving the perfect answer. Tip number 1. Now, this question is assessing your communication skills, your ability to communicate complex concepts to people who don't have the same level of knowledge as you. So in your answer, be sure to focus on describing how you would simplify your explanation to help the person better understand. Now, in your answer, I strongly recommend you use a practical explanation of how you would describe something technical to someone who does not have the same level of knowledge as you. Here is my brilliant example answer. How would you describe something technical to a non-technical person? When explaining something technical to someone who may not have the same background knowledge, I focus on simplifying the concept without oversimplifying it. For example, if I were explaining how the cloud works to a non-technical person, I might say, think of the cloud like a virtual storage room that you can access from anywhere as long as you have the key. Instead of storing your files on your computer, they're kept in this secure room on the internet. This way, if your computer breaks, your files are safe because they're stored in the cloud. This analogy helps convey the main idea without using complex jargon. I would also make sure to check if the person has any questions to clarify further. So that is a brilliant answer. It's such a good example answer because you are giving an example of how you would explain something technical to a non-technical person so they fully understand. Let's move on to technical interview question number 2. What problem-solving process do you use when encountering bugs and issues? Let me give you 2 great tips. Tip number 1. Problem solving will be a core assessment area in your technical job interview. So I recommend you utilize a 5-step process whenever solving technical problems. Here is that 5-step process. Number 1, you should always identify and reproduce the issue or problem. Step number 2, you then analyze the root cause. Step number 3, you develop a solution. Step number 4, you test the fix. And finally, step number 5, you document the process so people can learn from it and also to make sure it doesn't happen again. So here is my brilliant example answer to technical job interview question number 2. What problem-solving process do you use when encountering bugs and issues? When encountering bugs or issues, I follow a 5-step structured problem-solving process to identify and resolve them efficiently. In step 1, I will identify and reproduce the issue. I will gather as much information as possible about the bug. I replicate the issue in a controlled environment to understand its behavior and ensure consistency in its occurrence. Step 2, I analyze the root cause. I use debugging tools like logs, breakpoints, or error messages to pinpoint where the problem originates. By tracing the code or reviewing system configurations, I narrow down potential causes. Step 3, I develop a solution. Once I identify the root cause, I brainstorm and evaluate potential fixes, ensuring the solution addresses the issue without introducing new bugs. Step 4, I test the fix. After implementing the solution, I rigorously test it in different scenarios to confirm that the bug is resolved and that the system functions correctly. Finally, in step 5, I document the process. I document the issue, its cause, and the resolution steps for future reference, ensuring that the team can learn from the experience. This systematic approach allows me to tackle bugs effectively while minimizing downtime and maintaining system integrity. That is a brilliant answer, and if you gave that level of response to me in a technical interview, I would be serious about offering you the position. Now, don't go anywhere because I still have many more tips, questions, and sample answers to work through with you. But when you are ready, click the link in the top right-hand corner of the video, head straight through to my website, passmyinterview.com, and you can instantly download these slides plus my full set of 35 great answers to difficult technical job interview questions. But here is the next question that comes up all the time during technical interviews, but it catches lots of people out. And that question is, how many golf balls can you fit into a school bus? Now, upon first examination, this seems like a really silly interview question, but there is a reason why lots of hiring managers like asking this question in technical interviews. Here are 2 important tips. Tip number 1, this question assesses your logical thinking and problem-solving capabilities. Now, to answer this question, you must make assumptions about the size of the golf ball and the size of the school bus. And tip number 2, in your response, describe how you would calculate the volume of the golf ball and the capacity of the school bus before telling the interviewer your estimated answer. Always remember, these type of technical, difficult interview questions are not requiring you to give the perfect answer. It's about how you approach the problem that is being assessed here. So here is the perfect answer. How many golf balls can you fit into a school bus? I will assume a golf ball is about 4 centimeters in diameter, which gives it a volume of roughly 40 cubic centimeters. A standard school bus is approximately 10 meters long, 2.5 meters wide and 2 meters tall, giving it a volume of about 50 cubic meters or 50 million cubic centimeters. Since golf balls don't pack perfectly, I'll estimate that only about 70% of the bus's space can be filled with them. So the usable volume is 50 million times 70%, which equals 35 million cubic centimetres. Dividing this by the volume of one golf ball, 35 million divided by 40 equals 875,000. Therefore, you could fit approximately 875,000 golf balls in a school bus. So that is a great answer because you are assuming the size of the golf ball and the size of a typical school bus. So you are approaching the problem in a logical way. Now, if you want to accelerate your learning even further and fully understand how to calculate the volume of a sphere, which is a golf ball, you can watch that related video by clicking the link in the top right hand corner at any time during this tutorial. But here is the next technical interview question I strongly recommend you prepare for. How would you collaborate with a difficult coworker? Again, this question comes up all the time during technical job interviews. Tip number 1. Now, it is common to have disagreements with coworkers in technical job roles, especially when approaching technical-based solutions. People who work in tech are highly intelligent people. So sometimes there is a clash of personalities and a clash in the decision-making process. Now, in your answer, you must demonstrate an ability to respect your co-workers' ideas to help achieve the team's objectives. And tip number 2, in your answer, demonstrate an ability to resolve conflicts amicably through calm, solution-based discussions that empower the team to achieve its technical goals. Here is the perfect answer. How would you collaborate with a difficult coworker? When collaborating with a difficult coworker, I focus on maintaining professionalism and finding common ground to work effectively. First, I make an effort to understand their perspective by listening carefully to their concerns or preferences. For example, if a coworker prefers a different approach to a task, I would ask questions to understand their reasoning and look for ways to align our goals. If disagreements arise, I keep the discussion solution focused and avoid personal judgments. For instance, I might say, let's focus on the best way to achieve the team's objective rather than debating who is right. I also ensure clear communication and set boundaries to keep the relationship respectful. Ultimately, my priority is the success of the project and the team, so I aim to foster collaboration through understanding, patience, and mutual respect. That is a great answer. Technical interview question number 5 is, why are manhole covers round? This is another silly question, but again, it is being asked for a specific reason. So manhole covers are often found in the road and they are round. They are round for several reasons. But what are those reasons? Let me give you 2 tips for giving the perfect answer. Tip number 1. This technical interview question is common during technical interviews and it assesses your understanding of technical and engineering concepts. Manhole covers are round predominantly because they give greater structural integrity. Tip number 2, in your answer, I also recommend you explain how round manhole covers do not fall into the hole, whereas rectangle or square ones can, which can cause dangerous situations. So here is the perfect answer. Why are manhole covers round? Manhole covers are round for several practical and engineering reasons. First, a round shape ensures that the cover cannot fall through the opening regardless of how it is positioned. This is because a circle has a constant diameter, unlike a square or rectangular cover that could fall through it if inserted diagonally. Second, a round shape is easier to roll, which makes it more practical for transportation and handling by workers. Additionally, circles distribute weight evenly, which enhances their structural integrity when supporting heavy loads like vehicles. And lastly, manufacturing a circular cover is often simpler and requires less precise alignment when placing it back on the opening, saving time and reducing potential errors in maintenance. That is the perfect answer to that common technical interview question: why are manhole covers round? Technical interview question number 6. What are the essential skills and qualities needed to work in tech job roles? Tip number 1. Now, before your technical interview, I strongly recommend you read the job description. And in your answer, you should talk about technical skills and soft skills. In technical roles, to be successful, you must have good soft and interpersonal skills. Tip number 2, in your answer, be sure to include critical thinking, adaptability, collaboration, and communication. Here is the perfect answer. What are the essential skills and qualities needed to work in tech roles? Here we go. To work in tech roles effectively, both technical and soft skills are crucial. On the technical side, a strong foundation in problem solving and programming languages like Python, Java, or C++ is essential. Familiarity with databases, algorithms, and software development tools is also important depending on the role. On the soft skills side, critical thinking and adaptability are vital because the tech industry is constantly evolving. Collaboration is key, as most tech projects involve teamwork across different departments. Strong communication skills help explain technical ideas to non-technical stakeholders. And lastly, a willingness to learn and stay updated with emerging technologies is critical to staying relevant and contributing effectively to team projects. Again, that is a brilliant answer. You can see how all of these responses are going to help you pass your technical job interview. Technical question number 7. Tell me about a time you had to deal with an ethical dilemma. This is a tricky question. Tip number 1. Ethical dilemmas are commonplace in technical teams. Now, this question assesses honesty, professionalism, and integrity. In your answer, demonstrate your understanding of how important it is to do the right thing. That is what this question is assessing. Your desire to do the right thing in your work. Tip number 2. I also strongly advise you use the STAR method to structure your answer. So begin your response and outline the situation you were in. You will then talk about the task that needed your attention. You will then give in-depth details about the action you took before finally telling the interviewer the result following your actions. Here is my brilliant example answer that uses the STAR method. Tell me about a time you had to deal with an ethical dilemma. Here we go. In a previous role, I was working on a team where I discovered that a colleague had overlooked a crucial step in testing before deploying an update to a live system. Although the colleague assured me it was a minor issue, I knew it had the potential to cause significant problems for our clients. I faced an ethical dilemma: whether to report the issue and potentially create conflict with my colleague or let it slide to avoid confrontation. I decided to approach the situation professionally and transparently. I discussed my concerns with the colleague privately, explaining the potential risks and suggesting that we review the deployment together. After our conversation, they agreed to revisit the testing process, and we found a bug that could have led to significant downtime. This experience reinforced my belief in the importance of integrity and clear communication in the workplace. Addressing the issue not only prevented a potential problem, but also strengthened our working relationship. That is a brilliant example answer that uses the STAR method of situation, task, action, and result. It's a brilliant response. Technical interview question number 8. How do you handle tight deadlines while working on a technical-based project? Tip number 1. As you are already aware, you will be expected to manage your workload independently in your tech role. So this question assesses organizing, prioritizing, and time management capabilities. So in your answer, focus on the following 3 key areas: planning, prioritization, and communication. Here is the perfect answer. How do you handle tight deadlines while working on a technical-based project? When faced with tight deadlines on a technical project, I focus on planning, prioritization, and communication to ensure successful delivery. First, I break the project down into smaller, manageable tasks and prioritize them based on their impact and dependencies. I often use a traffic light system for prioritization. Red tasks are urgent and come first, orange tasks are second, and green tasks can be left for later in the working day. This helps me stay organized and focus on what matters most. Second, I utilize project management tools like Jira or Trello to track progress and ensure deadlines are met. Time management is key, so I allocate dedicated time blocks for deep work, minimizing distractions during critical phases of the project. I also ensure clear communication with the team and stakeholders. For instance, if a potential roadblock arises, I inform the relevant parties early to collaboratively find solutions. Finally, I stay flexible and adapt quickly if priorities shift or unexpected challenges arise. This approach has consistently helped me deliver high-quality work even under tight deadlines. That is a professional, brilliant answer that demonstrates your ability to plan, prioritize, and complete your work on time while communicating properly. The next question: how do you keep your technical knowledge up to date? Tip number 1. Now, all technical job roles require a commitment to take ownership of continuous professional development. Now, because tech is constantly evolving, make sure you have a plan for how you are going to maintain competence in your work. So here's a different number of things you can do to maintain technical competence. You can subscribe to technical blogs and newsletters, complete online training courses, attend networking events, and also participate in online tech communities. Here is the perfect answer. How do you keep your technical knowledge up to date? The tech industry evolves rapidly, so I make a conscious effort to stay current. I regularly follow industry news and trends by subscribing to blogs, podcasts, and newsletters from reputable sources like TechCrunch, Stack Overflow, and GitHub updates. I also take online courses on platforms like Coursera, Udemy, and LinkedIn Learning to learn about emerging technologies or enhance my existing skills. For example, I recently completed a course on cloud computing to better understand AWS services. Additionally, I participate in online tech communities and forums such as Reddit's tech subreddits and specialized communities on Discord to engage in discussions and learn from other professionals. I also enjoy attending webinars, conferences, and meetups to network and gain insights into the latest innovations. This approach helps me stay ahead of changes, ensuring I can effectively contribute to projects and bring value to my team. That's a great answer. Technical interview question number 10 that needs a confident answer. What are your salary expectations in this tech role? let me give you 2 important tips. Tip number 1, it is vital you research the salary range for your tech role before the interview. Now, I recommend you research technical salaries on glassdoor.com. Make sure also you practice your answer several times before the interview so you are confident in the salary negotiation. Now, the answer I am about to give you includes several salary figures. All you have to do is conduct your own research on glassdoor.com and then alter the figures for your tech job role and industry. Here it is. What are your salary expectations in this tech role? Based on my research and understanding of the role, I believe the salary range for this position typically falls between $65,000 and $75,000 per year. Given my qualifications, experience, proficiency in, and then insert any areas of expertise you have, and the value I can bring to your team, I would be comfortable with a salary of $72,000 and the opportunity to have an annual review based on my contribution to the company's commercial objectives. For $72,000, I will ensure you receive an excellent return. So that is a really good answer. You have found out, you have researched the salary range, and you are then asking for a salary that is just below the higher end of that range, and you are justifying why they should give it to you. Don't forget to include in your response the areas of expertise or proficiency you can bring to their team. Now, at the end of your technical job interview, you will have the opportunity to ask some questions of your own. But which questions should you ask? So the hiring manager will say, that's the end of your interview. Do you have any questions for us? Here are the questions I recommend you write down on a sheet of paper, take them with you to the interview and ask them. Here we go. How is the technical team structured and how does this role fit within it? How does the company approach innovation and staying ahead of new technology trends? And how does the company support professional development such as training, certifications, or attending conferences? That is a great selection of 3 brilliant questions I recommend you ask at the end of your technical interview. Now, the next thing to do is click the link right now in the top right-hand corner of the video. Head straight through to my website, passmyinterview.com, and you can instantly download my full set of 35 great answers to difficult technical interview questions. You can have this guide in your inbox literally within 2 minutes from now. Make sure you check out my website. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Please give the video a like and make sure you connect with me on LinkedIn. I have put my LinkedIn link in the description below the video. It is always an absolute pleasure and an honor to connect with like-minded professionals such as yourself. Thank you for watching, and I wish you all the very best for passing your interview. Have a great day.